And now we're going to create your first patient's profile. So first you're going to click on the magic wand top of the screen. You want to create a new patient. And then you enter first name and last name. You can always add the sex of the patient, date of birth, weight, and height, which is all optional. We're going to click continue. And now, depending on the size, depending on the height of the patient, as you can see, a large would be the whole mat. A medium-sized mat would deactivate the last 2 electrodes, and a small-sized mat would be the last 4 of them. So let's say that he is a large. Continue, continue. Now from here, you want to explain to your client that you're going to increase the intensity nice and slow, that it should never ever be painful, and that he always needs to give you feedback throughout the process. So we're going to start to turn the dial nice and slow, and then keep on talking to your patient, ask questions, and keep on increasing the intensity to a intense but yet pleasurable sensation. So let's say, for example, that this patient finds it good at 26. We're going to hit that small arrow at the bottom of the screen. And now from here, we're going to go and calibrate every single channel one by one, starting with the glutes. So now we're going to go and increase nice and slow. The patient tells you to stop at 16. So now we click on the arrow and jump to the next one. We're going to go and repeat that process throughout the back, nice and slow. Always ask questions to your client. Always feel comfortable. And then all the way up to the upper back. The next one is a more advanced calibration, which is side by side. If your patient has any major imbalances, it is always good to go and calibrate on the right and left side, because you might see that the intensity might go higher on the side and maybe even lower on the other. So you go and skip these. Now from here, that's your calibration diagnostic. So you can see the intensity was quite higher in the lower back area and more even in the upper back. You're gonna hit continue. And now we're gonna go and hit that manual program selection. Extremely important, you always need to save the patient profile, so that way you don't need to do calibration. And now you go and choose which program suits your patient's needs the best. Now from here, you can start the simulation, increase yet to a pleasurable sensation. You can grab the remote in the back of the console, give it to your patient. So he can increase and decrease the intensity by himself. So he has full control over what he's going to feel with the WaveMat.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the buttons?
Yeah, so let's
like the 10, the 40C, the timer.
Yeah, so right now you can see that the temperature of the WaveMat is at 40 degrees. Important to turn up the WaveMat on 15 to 20 minutes before the patient arrival. This here, you can see that the 10 is the overall intensity regarding the patient's calibration. Here you can see that we have 29 minutes left on the 30-minute timer. And right under the time, you can see that there's S1 of 13. This is the number of sequences that the Perfect Wave program has. So every time you hear a beep, it's going to jump sequences. You can see that now it's going from the butt all the way up. Every time it changes sequences, the patient is going to feel another type of massage. If you click on the red and green arrow on the top right corner of the screen, you can see all the intensities of your patient. From here, if you need to modify any single one of them, you can click and increase or decrease the intensity. You can do that on every single channel individually. Once you've done that, you want to click the Save button to keep the patient's calibration details.